We're taking the world's scariest movie posters and making them so wholesome even a toddler could watch them. First up, Come Play. In the original, this kid is absolutely terrified, but by the time I'm done, he's going to be looking for a hug. I'm ditching the monster and bringing in a creature that just wants to play. I'll give him a soft bluish tone so he fits right into the scene. I'm separating these trees to make this monster look like he's just playing a game of hide and seek. I'll duplicate the layer and mask it so his hands poke through the branches. Now, it doesn't look like he's reaching for the boy, he's just reaching for a high five. See? It's friendly. And I need you guys to stop turning everything into horror even if it's friendly. He's just reaching out to have a good time. I'll fade the bottom of the creature so the haze in the background hits him too. Then I'll bring in a light pole and scatter a few stars around. I'll make sure they have different sizes just to add some charm. I'll add highlights to the creature so his sides catch a soft white glow and blend it in so some of his hair come through naturally. I'll build the shadow under the boy, then bring the light pole's opacity down and tuck some bushes in front of it so it feels like it's actually standing there. I'll paint in some extra grass with a brush and give the pole a bluish tint, then switch to an orange glow on top of it so it looks like it's really lighting up the scene. Next, I bring in a tiny bike. I'll tuck it between his legs so it looks like he's standing over it. Then I'll hide the saddle behind his leg. I'll shift the red tires to a bluish tone so they match and then add shadows below the bike and on the boy from the bike sitting there. He's holding some sci-fi gadget in the original which is way too serious for this one, so I swap it for a teddy bear instead. I bend its leg so it hangs down naturally in his hand and clean up any parts overlapping his fingers. Then I'll add shadows on the boy from the bear. Also, there's some strange blue light glowing on his thumb from the old gadget, so I paint over it using parts of his hand that already exist, which erased his fingernails, but he's getting it right back, so don't you dare commenting it still looks horror. Then I'll add more shading to the bear, plus a few highlights from the light pole and give it that same bluish color correction as everything else. Finally, the text. I add a wonderful new adventure begins and give Come Play a playful font. The original line said, he's good at taking friends, which doesn't sound creepy but also weird. Anyways, we'll toss that out and swap it for he's good at making friends. Yeah, that is way better. I add a few doodles around the Come Play text and rough up the edges so it feels more playful than polished. And this is the kid-friendly version of Come Play. We still have The Conjuring and Freddy Krueger coming up, but next up is Us. Instead of a nightmare about doppelgangers, we're turning this into a happy family reunion. I'm swapping that terrifying woman for someone who actually looks like she's having a good day. She's getting a bright orange shirt to match the new friendly vibe. And for the mask, we're ditching the torn off face look for something you would find at a birthday party. I'm making it bright orange so it practically glows with happiness. Wow, that actually looks... I don't have words for it, let me know in the comments. Wait, I accidentally turned her arm green. She looks more like Shrek than a happy mom. Let's strip that back and keep the orange only where it belongs. Once the arm is positioned, I rotate the mask slightly so it's not a flat front view anymore and bump up the size a little. Hold on, I have a better idea. What if she is not hiding, she's playing? I'm using puppet warp to tilt her head so she's peeking out from behind the mask. Now it's not a horror movie, it's just a giant game of peekaboo. Then I'll add shadows where the mask would naturally cast on her face. Plus, extra shading along the sides to bring out that curve of the mask. I shift the background color for some contrast and paint in a highlight behind her so she pops against it, especially with that orange shirt. I add a shadow from the arm onto the shirt and then deepen it with a contact shadow so it actually sits on top of the fabric. I clean up the bottom of the arm so it reads as hers and not a random limb. I'm even giving her teeth a little extra shine. She's got that just left the dentist glow. No cavities in this movie. I make the inside of the mask a dark brown, keeping the eyes and the mouth openings visible through it. The original text was way too dark. We're changing the credits to writer and director of Best Friends Forever because in this version, everyone gets along. Then I'll add some playful doodles around the Us text and finish it off with a subtle camera raw filter. And this is the kid-friendly version of Us. Now, if you don't want your face turned into a mask in the next video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It keeps the monsters away. Next up is The Conjuring. In the original, this room is the most haunted place on earth, but we're turning it into a dream nursery. I'm trading those possessed floorboards for some clean laminate and painting the walls a bright cyan blue. It's amazing what a fresh coat of paint can do to kick out a demon. Now, doesn't that look better already? Once the room's ready, I bring in the chair. I rotate it to face forward and scale it down slightly so the perspective feels right. Then I add the girl sitting on it. I rotate her a touch and then lower the opacity so I can erase around her and blend her right into the chair, like she's actually sitting there. Now, for the famous doll, instead of being possessed, she's just waiting for a story. I'm placing her right on the girl's lap, and to make this feel like a sunny afternoon, I'm building a light source that isn't a scary flashlight, it's pure sunlight coming through a window. I'm softening the edges so it feels warm and inviting, not harsh and spooky. I'll paint in some glow so the light actually looks like it's hitting them both naturally. With the light in place, I start on shadows, an overall shadow under the chair and then a tighter contact shadow so it looks like it's really touching the ground. Then I'll fade it out with a gradient and darken the side where the light doesn't reach, and use blend if to let some of the flooring and wall show through the light so it doesn't look flat. Every kid's room needs those glow in the dark stars. I'm scattering them across the walls, but I'm making sure they actually follow the perspective of the room so it looks like they're stuck to the paint. Now, if Friendly was a poster, this one would be it. Anyways, then I'll go back in and refine the light on the floor, add more shading around the walls, and then add shadows under the girl and behind the doll so they both feel properly seated in the scene. Then I'll add highlights to the girl and the doll's face, and from what I see, it looks like the sun is right outside their window. For the title, we're keeping the name The Conjuring, but we're making it look like a toy brand. I'm giving it a soft 3D look and a blue gradient. It doesn't look like a horror movie title anymore, it looks like the next big animated adventure. I'll carry the same effect over to the rest of the text, and once everything is in place, the poster is done. And this is the kid-friendly version of The Conjuring. My kid-friendly version of Freddy Krueger is just unimaginable, but anyways, let's just watch it. Now, instead of Freddy Krueger hunting you in your dreams, he's inviting you to the dance floor. We're swapping those razor-sharp claws for a welcoming hand and moving him out of the boiler room and into a festive party hall. And because it's a celebration, he's getting a party hat. Though, getting the perspective to sit right on his head was a nightmare on Elm Street. This is kid-friendly, Marcus. Keep your head in the game. Anyways, I'm putting a rose in his mouth to really sell that gentleman vibe. But hold on, it got thorns. And since we're keeping this 100% kid-friendly, I'm scrubbing those off so he doesn't get hurt. But don't worry though, I'm saving that thorn idea for a future horror edit. I'll shade his face where the stamp sits so it actually looks like he's committed to the dance. Seriously, this party hat was the hardest part of the entire video. I had to warp it 3 different times just to make it look fun instead of weird. Now for the outfit, I'm keeping his signature red shirt, but we're adding bright yellow stripes to make it look more like a cozy sweater and less like a slasher costume. Once that's set, I'll start adding the text. This one's called Freddy's Dance instead of the original title. I adjust the party hat's perspective one more time. No, seriously, this is the last time. Then I'll carry the red theme over to the hat itself, keeping it consistent with the shirt. The teeth on the hat come out red, so I paint them back white. Then I'll go back to the text and make the word dance red to match, and then add a caption underneath, "He saved the last dance for you." It's not a nightmare on Elm Street anymore, it's Freddy's dance. And the best part, he saved the last dance for you. This might be the most unimaginable transformations yet. Let me know in the comments which poster was your favorite, and if you want to see more irony, you'll probably love this video too.